history is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, everyone can enjoy.
Calls in the storms Thursday. Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling them.
This is the first time in a long they had 11. Send us some of your men.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com.
Next at 6, a bus crash in North Houston sends nearly a dozen people to the hospital, the latest on the investigation.
Plus, the Catholic Church making changes to rituals due to the coronavirus. A look at what's changing.
And Justin has a look at the forecast. That's next.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News at 6.
And good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight for KPRC Channel 2 News at 6. We are expecting a special report from BBC News. It's happening right now in the South Carolina primary. Let's listen to that.
Democratic primary, widely considered a must-win for Biden, and he has done so by a substantial margin, potentially changing the dynamics of a race dominated so far by Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, the winner in New Hampshire and Nevada, as we look ahead to Super Tuesday just 3 days from now, when 14 states and 1/3 of all delegates will be up for grabs. With South Carolina results still coming in tonight, Sanders is running second, with the other candidates well behind. Some insight from our exit poll on how Biden won here in South Carolina, where African Americans make up more than half of the electorate. When asked who best understands the concerns of minorities, voters said Biden by 42%, far more than anyone else. And when we asked them, is your opinion of Joe Biden favorable or unfavorable? They said favorable by a very wide margin, 76%. Voters here are focused on winning in November. Asked, would you rather see a nominee that can beat Trump or one that agrees with you on issues? A majority, 53%, said beat Trump. NBC's Garrett Hake is just outside Columbia here in South Carolina. Garrett, what propelled Biden's win tonight?
Well, Jose, those same exit polls also show that African-American voters here overwhelmingly said that they wanted to see a return to Obama-era policies, not more liberal, not more conservative. Nobody wears the Obama mantle quite like Joe Biden. Also, this was an electorate that was a little bit older and a little bit more moderate to conservative, slightly less liberal than the other early states. All of those subgroups are a big part of the Biden coalition, or at least the Biden coalition that has been wanting up until this point. Really the first state where he's been able to put together all of those pieces and here create a convincing win.
And Garrett, what does this mean for Super Tuesday 3 days from now?
If Joe Biden can harness this momentum, it could be a big deal. He lags Bernie Sanders in some of the big states voting on Super Tuesday, California and Texas most notably. Could he reel Bernie Sanders back in there? And can he hold off Michael Bloomberg? This momentum coming out of South Carolina will help.
Garrett Hake, thank you very much. And here's a quick look at the overall delegate standings. We see that Sanders remains in the lead with 45. Second is Bernie. Well, there you see South Carolina. The delegates won so far here in South Carolina. Biden with 20. We'll have, of course, much more throughout the evening on this very important primary night. For many of you, we return to regular programming. I'm Jose Diaz-Balart reporting from South Carolina.
And you've been watching an NBC News special report about the results of the South Carolina primary, declaring NBC News Joe Biden the winner of that primary. More on that coming up. First, though, a crash involving a tour bus nearly rolling off the road, stalling traffic and sending a handful of people to the hospital. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sion Rhodes.
And I'm Jonathan Martinez. That crash happening just after 10 o'clock this morning, and traffic was at a standstill on the 610 North Loop at 45 in North Houston. Emergency crews and police had that freeway shut down for at least an hour. That scene has since cleared and traffic is once again moving. That right there is a live look from our Houston TransStar cameras. Channel 2's Roseanne Aragon explains exactly what happened.
We're joining you just alongside the North Loop, where you can see behind me firefighters say this charter bus got into an accident, causing major delays. A slowdown here on 610 at Airline. Native Houstonians know on these roads,
you got to be cautious at every move.
Houston firefighters say around 10 a.m. Saturday, this happened. A charter bus filled with 11 people came to a startling halt.
This bus was carrying a production company for a band that was en route to a concert. They left from Dallas, Texas.
The ride wasn't smooth. Investigators say it was a single vehicle accident. Houston police are still determining what caused the driver to veer off course, hitting these plastic barricades that apparently did their job.
I myself say those tubings is what protected a lot of people from being harmed today. Had it not been there, it's possible not only that bus would have been a tragedy, it would have been a few other vehicles as well.
The strength of this plastic showed.
Well, these, the way that they collapsed and gave way, actually created like a ramp effect where the bus actually slid up on top of them. But due to the material that they're made out of, they're pretty strong. They actually held the front of that bus up.
Firefighters called for backup to stabilize the bus.
There were 11 people total on the bus. All of them sustained some type of injury, but we only transported 5 of them to the hospital.
Ultimately, investigators say no one was seriously or critically injured. Meanwhile, traffic was backed up for hours.
Just have to be more observant and do your best to be as cautious as possible.
Crews spent hours after the incident making sure everyone was safe. From North Houston, Roseanne Aragon, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
A sigh of relief tonight as homeowners and businesses across the Houston area can once again use their water. That boil water notice lifted after 11 o'clock this morning. The impact felt near and far, including right here at our station. Take a look at the map. It shows the areas where that boil water notice took effect. As we reported, the notice had been in place since Thursday after that massive water main break turned the East Freeway into a river. A contractor was trying to repair a water line on Clinton Drive in East Houston when the 96-inch water line burst. Repairs on the line expected to last through next week.
Religious entities are now taking preventative steps in the coronavirus crisis. We've just learned Houston area Archdiocese Cardinal Daniel DiNardo has requested parishes temporarily suspend Holy Communion from the chalice. This also limits physical contact during Mass. This comes as the first U.S. death from the virus was reported in Washington State. The patient was a man in his late 50s being treated at the facility in King County. Officials don't know how the man contracted the virus, though. Washington State Governor Jay Inslee declaring a state of emergency in response.
Now to the race for the White House. NBC News now projecting Joe Biden the winner of the Democratic primary in South Carolina. Meanwhile, other candidates are setting their sights on Super Tuesday. That includes Texas. Senator Elizabeth Warren hoping to rack up enough votes to win the nomination, and she's rallying supporters here in Houston tonight. Channel 2 Sally Mamdou live from Discovery Green, where Warren is set to hold a town hall in just a few minutes. Hi, Sally.
Hey, Sian, about an hour, presidential hopeful Elizabeth Warren will take the stage here to address hundreds of her supporters. Her rally has attracted hundreds of people out here who believe she speaks to middle class and will get the job done once she's in the White House. There's a list of issues Warren is promising to tackle during her presidential campaign, like fixing the healthcare system that she says is broken, canceling student debt, and raising wages. Her supporters out here believe she has a good chance of winning this Super Tuesday.
The main thing, she is progressive. She has a lot of the same policies as Bernie Sanders, but she can actually get them done.
And I like her ideas, I like her personality, I like her intelligence and the way she works to get things done. And I just want to be here and participate in this and take our country back and make America even better.
Now, after coming out here, Warren's next stop is expected to be in Alabama. We're live in downtown Houston. Sally Mamdou, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Sally, thank you so much for that report. Moving forward, a peace deal signed by the U.S. and the Taliban.
What this means for troops overseas and the commitment made by the Taliban.
As you saw just a second ago down Discovery Green with Sally there, it's a beautiful night tonight. And in fact, if you headed on down, they're going to be giving out the awards. Beautiful there as well at Cook-Off. Temperatures will be dropping back into the low 60s. Clouds are back and showers as well. I'll time it all out for you coming up right after the break. Stick around.
A 30-year-old man accused of having sex with a teenage girl now behind bars. Deputies say he messaged the victim while detectives were interviewing her. Nathaniel Charles is now charged with online solicitation of a minor and aggravated sexual assault of a child. The 13-year-old girl told authorities she was a victim of human trafficking. That's when they say Charles messaged her on social media asking to meet at a park. Investigators met him there instead and arrested him. That girl is now receiving help.
We recognize America shouldn't fight in perpetuity in the graveyard of empires if we can help Afghans forge peace. And we have respect. We believe that the Afghan people are ready to chart their own course forward.
A historic moment as the U.S. and Taliban sign a peace agreement. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo hailing the signing as, quote, the best opportunity for peace in a generation. That deal aimed at ending the 18-year war in Afghanistan, America's longest. Under the agreement, the U.S. will start withdrawing thousands of troops in exchange for Taliban commitments to prevent Afghanistan from being a launch pad for extremist attacks.
Well, a sign that the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games are getting closer and closer. Atlanta's Olympic Cauldron was lit today for the first time in nearly 24 years. It was relit for the U.S. Olympic Marathon trials that happened today in that city. During the Olympic Games back in 1996, Muhammad Ali lit the flame during the opening ceremonies.
Honoring her memory, Latina singer Selena continues to inspire people across the world.
How Texas is choosing to remember her legacy and how you can show your appreciation as well.
And you're looking live right now out over the Galleria area. We're going to have a full forecast coming up.
A cancer.
Hey, Texas is celebrating 25 years of Selena's music legacy. Today, Stripe stores releasing 2 limited edition collectible cups. Company officials working with Selena's sister, Suzette Quintanilla, to create this year's designs. They'll be sold at participating Stripe stores in the state while supplies last.
We know they don't last long.
You know how fast those are going to fly off the shelves, man.
And my mom was calling me at one point, asking me to get them up here, like they're going to be a lot easier to get. I'm like,
yeah, go
they
to
go
the
off
store.
the shelf quick. Like
I know.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I have one in the neighborhood. I'll go check that out as well.
Mom, it's on the way. By way of Justin.
There we go.
Her favorite song.
I know. My mom. This is true. Your mom loves me. It's true. All right, guys. Yeah, man, beautiful day today. We were out at the rodeo parade this morning as well. We had a good time. That's right. I was doing a little lift. Yeah, it was nice. But thanks to everybody who came out and enjoyed it with us there. We really had a great time. If you're going out to Cook-Off tonight, they're giving away the hardware. Should be another nice night there as well. Let's take a live look outside and head on out. As you see, our Triangle Energy came in looking A-OK. Nice little framing of the Williams Tower there. Clear skies in the background. A little bit of high cirrus cloud we've seen throughout the day. I was kind of peeking at it as we were out there at the parade, but certainly didn't cool things down any. Temperatures all got up into the low 70s. I'll have the highs for the official highs for today coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. 71 still in Huntsville. Elsewhere, though, a bit of a marine air trying to move in, and so that's actually put a bit of a lid. Remember yesterday, winds were out of the southwest, and that's why we warmed up into the mid-70s. Touch cooler in that, but still, it's going to be a fairly pleasant evening. The one caveat to that is when you get the winds off of the Gulf, that actually helps to bring a little more moisture back into the air, and so these breezy conditions out there now will likely stay somewhat elevated tonight in the actual temperature. What do I mean by that? Well, watch. Futurecast wise, some cloud cover rolling in from the west, but notice by 10 o'clock tonight we're still sitting right at about 60 degrees, and in fact, that's pretty much where we're going to sit for much of the night. By tomorrow morning, there's a slight chance we could get a sprinkle or two. I think most of this is just going to be an increase in cloud cover. Could get a little sea fog coming in from the coast as well. And that's one of the reasons why the Futurecast looks like it's trying to create some showers. Now, is there a chance tomorrow? Yes, 10 to 20%. But if we do get anything, it'll be in the afternoon. We can kind of get a little more moisture flaring up and maybe a passing shower or two. I'm not real bullish on that. I think our better chances for rain days are going to be Monday, Tuesday, because one reason is there's just nothing out there. So we don't have any dip in the jet stream to give a little bit of extra lift, even with that enhancement of the moisture coming in off the Gulf. It's just there. It's going to basically just create more cloud cover. Our front is still off to the west coast. That is going to start trucking its way east here. But notice we've got a little bit of that Pacific moisture sliding in from the west as well. So the clouds will be back tomorrow. Showers going to take another day for that. Just a slight chance as we get into Monday. Notice this front sort of gets hung up just a bit. And as we get into Tuesday, we start to see a little surface low develop on the tail end of that front. Tuesday into Wednesday is when we could get a chance for some heavier pockets of rain. But notice that the stretch of this in terms of where the real heavy rain is still looks like it's going to be a little further north, and then stretching all the way across the southeast as that front slowly sags its way down in through the I-10 corridor. The problem with that is a lot of these spots, remember, they saw historic flooding across the Pearl River in Mississippi and also into Alabama. They don't need any more rain, but unfortunately it looks like there is more on the way. For us, I'd put us at least at maybe between about 1 to 2 inches. See the worst of it in terms of 2 to 3 in between here and Dallas, and then there's that stretch from Jackson all the way over towards Atlanta where they could once again pick up an additional 4, 5, maybe 6 inches of rain. So very wet conditions continue for the folks across the southeast. For us here, we'll mainly just call it an inconvenience both Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, that said, folks will be out voting for the primary Tuesday afternoon and, of course, rodeo kicking off. So just kind of be mindful of that forecast. First 2 days of rodeo, not going to look the best, but as we get in towards the rest of the week and into the weekend, it looks pretty good. We'll be back up into the 70s by Thursday, Friday, and next Saturday.
It gets picture perfect down the line.
Oh, yeah.
Feel spring is on its way.
That's Thanks a lot for that, Justin.
All right, Vanessa's in now talking some basketball.
Yeah, we had girls basketball today. We have to talk about the regional semifinals that happened, and we also had some college basketball, a major upset happening. We'll have more on that coming up in sports. Welcome into the Xfinity Sports Desk. Here's what's happening. Well, a lot of Texas college basketball teams playing today. We got to start out with the #2 ranked Baylor Bears traveling to Foxworth to take on the Horned Frogs of TCU. TCU not doing too well, 3-10 in their last 13 games. Baylor, of course, gets off to a hot start. Freddie Gillespie rolls to the rim, gets the easy dunk as Baylor leads 19-12. But here comes Desmond Bane, pump fake and a big-time shot. 2 consecutive threes for Bane, and all of a sudden it's a 3-point game. Baylor actually gets back within 3 points, but they completely forget about P.J. Fuller in their full-court press. Fuller gets the clinching dunk to put this one on ice. TCU gets the upset, 75-72. All right, and Shaka Smart and the Longhorns visiting Texas Tech. First half, Red Raiders hanging in there. This 3 by David A. Moretti cuts the Longhorn lead 17-14. Second half, 3 left on the shot clock. Courtney Ramey from way out, 60-55 Longhorn lead. Texas wins this one 68-58. And the Houston Dynamo had an active offseason, and today they opened this season against a tough opponent at BBVA. Of course, the home game against the LA Galaxy. Galaxy gets on the board first. Christian Pavone with the goal. Galaxy lead 1-0 at this point. But second half, who else but Mauro Manotos? This goal levels the game, and this one did end in a draw, 1-1, but a great environment, sold-out crowd. Dynamo play Kansas City next Saturday. And the road to Tokyo leads through Atlanta. 6 slots on the U.S. Olympic team were up for grabs today at the Olympic trials. It's hard to believe that we're just a few months away from the Olympics. Of course, KPRC will have team coverage. A lot on the line here, and not an easy day. Winds blowing almost 20 miles an hour. But Galen Rupp smoked everyone. No shocker here. Took the lead near the 16-mile mark and really never looked back. This will be his 4th Olympic appearance. The other 2 spots are filled by first-time Olympian Jake Riley and 43-year-old Abdi Abdirahman, who at 43 would be the oldest U.S. male marathoner. In the women's race, Alafine Tolomiuk and Molly Seidel pulled away from the pack, pushed each other to the finish. Tolomiuk finished and Seidel took second. Sally Kipyego was third. And of course, again, KPRC, your exclusive home for the 2020 Olympics. All right, Clear Springs taking on Cy Creek in the regional championship. Let's go to the third quarter. Chargers trying to keep it close. Kenny Gibson buries the 3. They would cut the lead to single digits. Check out Cy Creek's Kendall Hunter. She nails the 3. Cy Creek pulls away to win this one 60-40. The Cougars remain undefeated, so it's time to celebrate a regional championship.
To get to this point, and you know, from the beginning, well, from last year, February 22nd, that loss, you know, in the regional semi has stuck with us, and these kids have just, you know, carried that with them and remembered that feeling and didn't want to feel that again. So to be headed back to San Antonio is a dream.
Yeah, we've done some stories on them. They're awesome. We love that.
Congratulations
team.
to them.
Absolutely.
Very nice. All right, thanks a lot for that. Justin's back after the break with the final check of your forecast.
Stay with us.
Easier.
It is the unofficial kickoff to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Thousands of people showing up to watch this year's rodeo parade.
It's a whole lot of fun. Trail riders have been traveling across the entire state just for this big event. Channel 2's Taisha Walker was there as that parade got underway.
The 2020 Houston Rodeo Parade made its way through downtown Houston this morning. The weather drawing thousands to see the horses, their riders, and the floats.
You know, I like to see horses, cheering people, runners.
Keith McMurtry brought his granddaughter Abigail, hoping to start a new tradition.
Well, I'm a retired police officer, and for most of the rodeo parades, I've had to work in security. I'm retired now, so I can actually enjoy it.
Happy rodeo, everybody!
The crowd cheered in excitement to celebrate Western heritage and the start of the livestock show and rodeo. While this might have been a first for some families, they say they had so much fun, it definitely won't be their last.
This is our first year to come to the rodeo parade, and we saw it on the calendar and we were like, let's make this event happen. Beautiful weather, and so far we're like ready to come back every year.
In downtown Houston, Taisha Walker, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Right, Vanessa got your first rodeo parade under the belt.
How'd it go?
Yeah, you
It was
can join
awesome.
the crowd.
It was
fun. There was a lot of energy, just a lot going on.
The whole ride, all we hear is, what do you say? Channel 2?
Channel 2?
The hype woman.
This one here, oh, she was.
And musical requests now.
Yes.
She was
dancing as well on the floor
I was
towards
like
the end.
the Flava Flav of
Yep. We were doing that. Me and this guy are watching what they're cooking on the Michoacana.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what do they got over there?
Priorities.
Yeah, look good for sure. All right, check out your 10-day forecast, guys. If you headed on up for rodeo this evening, as we mentioned, it's going to be a nice night. We've got a good day tomorrow. Mid-70s. Get out and enjoy it.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Does it for us, but we'll see you tonight at 10.
Have a good night.